What could your child possibly teach you? Well, stick around to find out. Hi, I am Andrew Chase, and I have a master's in spiritual psychology and have written a book on conscious uncoupling for parents. I've just started a video series for fathers that are looking to create or build on a better relationship with their former wife for the benefit of their child or children. This is episode 6 of that series, Divorce, the Beginning of a Beautiful Friendship. Big things come in small packages. I believe, as Wayne Dyer does, that our children, whether biological or adopted, chose us to move us along to the next level of our spiritual curriculum. It is also symbiotic as we teach each other. This is a relatively new way of thinking because it was only my grandparents' generation where kids were to be seen and not heard. Then my parents' generation where kids could speak, but they were rarely heard. Prior to the internet, children were relying on their parents if they needed instant information. In fact, a lot of knowledge that I share with my kids are things I heard growing up, and after fact-checking on Snopes or Google, they just weren't accurate. But of course, when I say learning from our children, I am referring to intangibles. And this is more to illustrate that us mostly Gen X parents, we are caught between two worlds. One in which we know best, like our fathers, and the other world, being impressed by our kids and wondering how they know such things. To learn from our children, you have to be present. There's no greater present than to give them our presence. Of course, this applies to anyone in your life, but now as a divorced father, your children are at the forefront of that line. It took me reading Eckhart Tolle's book, The New Earth, just before I got divorced to start looking at my children as my teachers, just as he suggested. This didn't happen overnight for me. As a matter of fact, it was very much a work in progress. When my middle son was 10, and during the writing of this book, when I was doing online dating, and I was sending out some emails to some very lovely ladies, when he touched me on the back of my shoulder and said, "Dad, we only have a little time before bed. Can you help me find a good movie for us to watch?" My default thought was to tell him not to touch me or bother me because I was busy and would respond to him in a few minutes. Luckily, I was able to catch myself and realize that I had been spaced out sending out emails for close to 30 minutes. I looked at my half-written email to Beach Girl 72, then back at my son, who was surely aware of what I was doing. Half embarrassed that I was contacting women in front of him, as he didn't want me to have a new wife or girlfriend until he was 18, and half feeling guilty for spending my time here and not with him on a Sunday night, I popped up and said, "Let's see what we can find on demand." It reminds me of the saying, the easiest things to do are also the easiest things not to do. Now is the time to take a break for a new exercise to help you get used to being present and engaged with your children. Grab a pen and pad of paper, then shut off the television, computer, or other possible distraction. And just observe your child or children. Pay crystal clear attention to what they are doing and start taking notes on anything you notice unique to them and their general ways of doing things. Now, go deeper and see if you can read their body language, if they are in a conversation with another sibling or friend, and write down your observations. For example, just like the sixth sense effect in your marriage, what were the little things about their personalities that you'd never noticed before? What makes you smile about the way they interact with others, or whatever they might be presently focused on? Next, without the pen or paper, engage them in a conversation and let them lead it. Get as present as possible, and every time a distraction comes into your mind, mentally flick it out and stay focused on your interaction with your child. After a few minutes of this, immediately go back to your notepad and record what you learned on the emotional, such as how did it make you feel in your heart? Psychological, did it bring up any memories of your experiences at their age? And physical, did your chest feel tight or was it free? How did it make your gut feel? Be as descriptive as possible. Then, on a 3x5 card, list in bullet point format the learnings that you found most powerful. Make copies of these and keep them in a place near your phone, computer, remote control, or anywhere you spend a lot of time. And when you find your peace being disturbed by your child or children, and before reacting to them, pick up this card and read a bullet point or two to yourself. This is a very simple way you can help break the generational cycle of belief that children have nothing to offer their parents other than amusement, like a pet dog barking at itself in the mirror. The more you refer to this card, the more ingrained it will become in your subconscious. They don't even need to be around you for you to review it. I guarantee that anytime you pick it up, It will put a smile on your face. You will see just how amazing these little teachers are. And as I mentioned at the top of this episode, they are also learning from you. You are modeling for them what it is like to be a parent. So when their time comes, whether they're a boy or a girl, to become a parent, they will pass this down to their children, and a new cycle of being seen and heard will have been created. Great work, Dad. Love to hear your thoughts below in the comments section. If you felt like this video was of value to you, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Also, ring the notification bell to be kept up to date when the next episode drops. Virtually yours, Andy.